So, as you guys know, there is a lot of angry sentiment in our country right now on both sides, on the Republican side and as well as the Democrat side. And I watch TV and I see a lot of these so-called politicians, these representatives. They're either dodging the town hall meetings that their constituents are asking for, or when they get there, they're either just being very non-responsive or they're being just outright combative. And there's a couple of them that I looked at who, even though they didn't, necessarily say anything contemptuous, you could tell by the body language, you could tell by the way they looked as the angry people were talking to them, that they had a certain level of contempt. What bothers me is not even the way that these guys are talking to people. What bothers me is the fact that the constituents are still seem like they're playing like this begging game, like do your job and things like that. And part of me just feels like, you guys got it wrong. You got it totally wrong. They are doing their job. They're doing exactly what their bosses are telling them to do. All this time you thought you were the boss because you voted them in. But in reality, you're not the boss. The mere fact that a lot of these people didn't understand that, I can't really blame them because, most of us don't really get into politics or get fascinated by politics unless it affects us. And I can't lie. I am one of those people. I am a government employee. And so a lot of what happens with my life as a government employee revolves around politics. And so I, now as a byproduct of that, am more and more intrigued by it. And I'm more active about it. And I try to get more and more people active about it because it's not just about me. What these politicians do have, far-reaching effects on all of us, whether you work as a government employee or whether you work in the private sector, or whether you're just a student in school and you're not working anywhere or you're retired. So the first thing I would say to all these people that are screaming about do your job and, you seem to have this angry but reconciliatory tone to your voice, the ones that are not screaming their heads off, of course, I would say to you, get over it. All these, people that are out there self-apologistic, whatever it is, you need to stop it. The bottom line is this. Mitch McConnell and Chaffetz and Issa and a whole bunch of these other guys, they do what they do because it's in their best interest to do what they do. Because they run unopposed almost for the most part. So they have the opportunity to run roughshod over the country. And they create the narrative that is a negative one for the most part. But because we as American citizens tend to take sides, we tend to be loyal to the party, even though the party is not loyal to us. So I'm telling each and every one of you folks out there who still have this sort of angry but still want to make it work kind of feeling going on that you need to let it go. It's a bad relationship. What do we do with bad relationships? We break them off. Because when you talk to these people, when you try to reach out to these people, they either dodged you, or they didn't want to have a meeting with you, or those that were willing to have a meeting with you are going to continue to push their agenda. They're not listening to you, or if they do listen to you, they're not really responsive to what you have to say. These are people that you don't need running the country for you. These are not people that you want representing you. These are people that are there for their own personal interests. And you shouldn't be trying to beg and plead with them to do their job. They have been doing their job. They haven't been doing what you want them to do, but they've been doing their job. You need to vote them out. The one thing I will say that I am quietly relieved at is that some of these people who were out there weren't going for the okie doke. Now, yeah, were they yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs? Yeah, they were. But they were letting people know loud and clear that, come 2020, you're not going to be sitting in that chair in Congress anymore. We're going to vote you out. And once again, it's not about, Republicans versus Democrats. It's about finding people who are going to represent our best interests, people who are going to take our education system seriously, people who are going to take our health seriously, people that are going to take our environmental protection seriously, people that are going to take housing and treasury, finances and credit seriously, because these people are taking it seriously, but not in the way we want them to take it seriously. That's it, guys. Just keep doing what you're doing and start hardening your mind. Start getting tough and start saying to yourself, there's no more arguing. Because if you were doing the right thing in the first place, we would not be having this discussion. The mere fact that you're having this discussion, the mere fact that you're out there shouting and screaming at these people, angry and justifiably angry, means that they weren't interested in doing what they were supposed to do in the first place. Plain and simple.